Hello. Welcome. Happy Thursday. This is the Superior Adventurers Guild. I am North Shore DM. We are playing in our game, Midwinter Keening. These are my friends.
Hi.
Ooh.
Hi. Michael, I want you to make that face the whole game. Regardless of what you're talking about.
I can't do this and talk.
Just keep talking like that the whole game. All right.
Do you remember who goes first?
Oh, I thought we were just going to
doing?
listen to dead air for a while.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Hey, everybody. How's it going? My name is Andy. I'm playing... Wait, I got to bring up my intro page. Big Eagleson.
There we go.
A third level Runewalker wizard. He likes to shoot firebolts. He likes to set things on fire. And, yeah. Ready to explore this underground room tonight. Again.
My name is Ashley, and I play Astrid Boulder's daughter, Gothi, third level Gothi of Balder. And I am interested for more character building.
Hello, I'm Dave. I'm playing Vidar Gormson. I am a third level ranger, a Scotty, a really interesting ranger class that was designed specifically for Svilland, and I'm excited to see what tonight's torment is for this strange group of characters. Looking forward to it.
I'm really not looking forward to Torment. That's not my jam, baby. But we don't judge a kink shame in this party, so
It was a really
we
good
accept
game.
what's coming. Oh gosh, what am I doing? I don't know. I think I'm playing a werewolf. Yes, I'm playing a I'm playing two werewolves in a suit of
werewolves.
armor. Oh, it's one of those. It's secret werewolf. But I am playing Gundr, who is an Allah of Thor, which is to say he is a paladin of Thor. And apparently he killed a guy. Who's new?
It was a light way to produce that. Sorry.
And
Go ahead.
I'm Amanda. I am playing Paya, the Bard Mom. She's kind of wandered off, and she likes to play her jaw harp. So that's what she's doing, playing her jaw harp, making beautiful trancy music.
She's on an adventure.
Like Tiesto up in here?
Doot.
Okay. Excellent. Well, what kind of things? We have some things we would like to talk to you about. Andy would like to tell you about some things that he is extra excited about today.
Like
Hey,
merch?
everybody. You should go check out our merch page. Just kidding.
Thanks, Colin.
Wait, why would you kid about that?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, go check out our merch. We got t-shirts, we got hoodies, we got tote bags, we got masks to put on your face. We got wall art, coffee mugs, stickers. Check it out. Support your local guild superior.
Andy, do we have like masks to put on any other parts of the body?
We don't kink shame.
You need a password to get into that part of the site.
Please forward me that password.
Those are called shirts, Michael. And yes, we do sell those.
Belly mask.
Hey, I have some announcements. 2 announcements. It's convention season. Whatever that means now. Things are different. And that's okay. Coming up, October 1st through the 3rd, Virtual Greyhawk Con, put on by Jay over at Lord Gazumba, the Twitch channel. Not to be confused with Lord Gazumba, the Lunchbox. That's a different property. But Lord Gazumba, the Twitch channel. So online convention celebrating the campaign setting of Greyhawk. Across people will be running games across a variety of D&D editions, to include us and Dave running the Siege of Westkeep on October 2nd from 10 to 2. You can sign up for games starting in a month.
Yes.
August
August?
1st, I believe.
Yep. In like a week,
next
actually.
week, or 2 days.
Next month, next week. There's a link. It's going to be super fun. There's a lot of fun people will be there. If you exist in the kind of Twitch RPG space, you might recognize a bunch of faces and or play with them. That's pretty cool. Also,
Play with
October.
faces?
Say again.
Play with faces?
Now it's my kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
Necromancy.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
I was thinking Mr. Potato Head, but Potato Head.
Could be the same.
That's fair. That's fair. Also, October 21st through the 23rd, Gamehole Con, the largest RPG convention in the Midwest, conveniently located in Madison, Wisconsin. But also, perhaps even more conveniently, a virtual component, virtual Gamehole Con, which we will be taking part in. And I will personally be running lucky players through 2 harrowing adventures of youth in space. One game called Bearcats to the Rescue sees a bunch of youth as they fight against alien invaders from the basement of their high school. Not unlike the great 1980s coming-of-age story, Red Dawn.
Was that what the movie was about?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was about.
Sometimes I get rewatch that.
Sometimes I get Red Dawn and the movie with Pony Boy mixed up in my head.
The Outsiders?
Yeah. And I will also be running Assault on Europa 2. Also, perhaps a coming-of-age story about very young space marines fighting an intergalactic alien menace.
Swayze.
Also Patrick Swayze. Not unlike the movie Alien or Aliens, which I'm sure you remember from the 80s.
Stars Patrick Swayze.
Starring Patrick Swayze. Yeah, it's going to be super fun. Registration, badge registration is available now, and event registration is available, I believe, September 1st. There's some links right there in the chat that we have posted. You can find out all kinds of cool information. It's going to be super fun. I went there physically once, and it was great. I'm excited to run games for people there virtually. So check those out. Do we have anything else? Hiya.
Our sponsors, Dream Realm Storytellers. Thanks, guys, for being our sponsor. We appreciate you all. I'm going to drop a link here. You can go check out their complete product catalog on DriveThruRPG. They're putting out a bunch of great stuff, including a new adventure, Frey's Tears, a revised campaign core book, and some other great content, including a really rad soundtrack that you'll hear bits and pieces of tonight. So listen closely.
Hell yeah. If you're into evil games and evil players and dark and stuff, they have a campaign setting or a book. Oh, man. No. Okay.
Corpus Malicious.
Corpus Malicious.
Malicious.
Yep, it's all about a campaign setting. They create a city of evil called Malabar. I might be getting that partially wrong. There's evil campaign options and character options. It's not really my bag, but it seems pretty rad. I hear good things about it on the Discord server. Anyway, that is all of that jazz, right? No more announcements. Amanda, nice to see you back. You're cool.
Yay.
We're all here. Hey, let me do a recap. I was about to say review and then couldn't get beyond that word. Let me do a recap. As you will remember, last week they while they had just wrapped up the battle against a mysterious Gothy person and some bandits and some spirits, frosty spirit dudes. They captured this Gothy that it turns out after some interrogation was a Gothy of hell. His name was Riv, and they captured a bandit and questioned him. They let him go, and there's a perhaps hell possessed girl named Tira. It is the players are still, I think, uncertain as to what her role was, but I don't remember. Hang on, let me get back to my. I'm in my head too much now. They looted some prisoners. There was a bit of backstory where we learned that Gunder was on the gallows, but was rescued by Odin from the gallows. So that's cool.
Sounds
not
important.
not everyone can say that, you know. The bandit dude that they had captured and then later released, lots of good info. They had fought and killed some Vanir beasts, some bears and wolves that protected this circle where they are at. They're at a stone circle in a seemingly related complex underground at the apex of a really cool waterfall. This guy had previously worked for a person / group known as the Bloodless in the south. There is a man, perhaps, who has a blue sword. His name is Kalv, not unlike perhaps the one that Astrid is looking for. And he went northwest towards the ruins. Reasonably to assume that he meant Fogbear Village. Astrid, of course, being a nice person, gave the man 5 gold and told him to get a new job. And then they kicked him out into the night and the cold and coming storm. So he's probably dead now. I just want to put that out there.
We gave him a chance.
No, that's true. You gave him a chance, and the folk who live up here in the north are anything. If anything, they are in fact resourceful in shitty weather. Also, Vidar did, you could call it like a gentleman's oath. But he gave his word that he would kill this guy if he ever saw him again. So that's a binding contract legally now. They managed to awaken Reeve, the Gothy, who told them that Mavnus, this previously outcast, made nothing, less than nothing person, who is he was sacrificing people to hell back in the day, and so they kicked him out. He was once a respected follower of hell, who evidently this Gothy Reeve is a follower of hell, but has gone astray. He was last seen at Fogbear's Village, which is a haunted ruin guarded by spirits of cedar. Not cedar as in the cedar tree, but cedar, SEIDR, depending on how you want to spell it, which is essentially a special kind of magic user in this campaign setting. The spirits of the cedar who were killed during the Bear King's purge, which happened in age past. Mavnus seems to be looking for some item or some gate, perhaps. Then, of course, being a judicious man, Gunder slit Reeve's throat. Not long after saying, "What happens in this place stays in this place." It's kind of like Las Vegas, except for there's no real gambling, which is unfortunate. Astrid attempted to cast a Lesser Restoration on Tira, and then was chastised by a female voice. Perhaps the goddess Hell herself. She won't give up this girl so easily. All this kind of happened in what I, as a dungeon master, termed the foyer of this kind of some kind of underground complex that Gunder had attempted to gain access past, but was bound in vines and trees that had grown out of the ground. Excuse me. Paya has seemingly vanished deeper into this complex. All the while this is all kind of going on, Paya has been inside deeper into the complex, playing a song of home on her jaw harp, and seemingly exploring this area without them, because she is baller and doesn't need y'all baggage.
Wait, she's Balder?
Yeah, she is. In
Oh,
fact,
shit.
she is.
This continues to get complicated.
Yeah, that just gets. That's. I mean, Yeah, that's weird. I'd roll with it.
I'd roll with it too. I
We
mean,
can see where that rabbit hole goes. We're gonna. I'm gonna deal a bunch with Paya. At the beginning here, and what her experiences are during the time that you all. Well, she wasn't here last session. So Paya,
yes.
if you'll remember, back to 2 sessions ago, I vaguely do, but if you remember, you had just finished this battle. Somebody had started a fire. You were kind of checking out these standing stones. There was some kind of roll that you made, and you were able to discover that these had like some designs on them that were very reminiscent of like there were like tree figures and people figures and all these different things, kind of I don't remember, kind of like old school, like cooning style stuff that you see here, and you kind of did some more exploring. I feel like there might have been some kind of like, you feel a little calling to this place. Maybe I'm making that up and I'm remembering it wrong, but you discover a stairwell down. There's like a kind of a ruined foundation and a stairwell down. It felt good to you. You got a good feeling about it, and so you went down. At the stairs are kind of covered in ice, but they prove no issue for you as you walk down the stairs. It's mildly warmer as you kind of reach the bottom of the stairs. You take that first step onto the bottom of the stairs, kind of into this kind of dark room, and you can see a kind of faint, kind of magical sort of light, kind of starts kind of where you are and kind of starts to move and trace different designs on the floor, and kind of lights up a little bit of this room as it passes, and you can see it's a moderate sized, circular-ish sort of room. You can just make out some relief carvings in various states of wear on the walls. There are some shadowed nooks kind of placed along each of the walls. You can see a pile of bone and snow kind of in one corner-ish spot, kind of towards the door. And as these lights kind of make their way around the room, you can see that they kind of come to a door pretty much opposite you. And they hit the door, and they kind of make the light kind of goes up. Like what would be the door frame? It's an open doorway, but the door frame you can see is like a very nicely carved sort of, and it's these kind of lights are tracing these nice like tree motifs, almost like the door to Moria, you know, in the Lord of the Rings. You know, very cool looking. What would you like to do?
I'm walking in through the door.
Mm-hmm. You step in. You know, this room, it's not a lot warmer, but it is noticeably slightly warmer than outside. And you approach the door, this doorway. You step through. There is almost like a kind of sigh kind of feeling, or like a sigh. Yep, that's what I want to say. Like a sigh that you feel like, I don't know, like almost like this place like sighs as you kind of enter. And this next room that you are in is legitimately circular. The other room was kind of circular-ish. This room is legitimately circular. You can see that whatever this light is perhaps has kind of moved around this room, and there are like four kind of like almost like they would be like braziers, kind of in this around, kind of in the center of the room, that light up with a kind of it's not fire. It looks like fire, but it is distinctly not fire. It's like 1980s CG fire, perhaps. You're like, that's not fire, but it is fire. And this room, you can see kind of in a less of a state as the previous room, which had snow and ice in it from outside the weather. This room has, you can see some spots like on the ceiling, on some of the walls are frosted and have like a light ice on them. You can kind of see a bit of that where it is like creeped in from outside, perhaps. And it is also, again, like another step warmer here. You look around, there are more carvings along the walls, and there are, you can see some like round-ish like kind of benches that are kind of at various points around the room.
Probably, since I haven't stopped playing my jaw harp, I'm probably pacing the room, finding a good acoustic space, finding a place where the sound reverberates. And, you know, do I know anything about, you know, my music is an offering of sorts, always has been. And it's a wish, and it's how I speak to those that I don't have words for. And so I'm watching the light respond. I'm watching the audience that I assume is here and trying to suss out what's listening and what sounds good and what they like. And what's
Sure.
responding to the sounds I'm putting out. I mean, I'm probably not paying some attention to details and shapes, but more just to how the sound is responding, or how the environment is responding to my sound, how my sound is responding to the environment, because I don't stop playing
Right.
this
Give
whole
me.
session.
Let's call it a performance roll, perhaps. That's a roll, right?
That is a roll.
That's a thing.
We'll
Nope,
check
it's a
which.
coin flip.
Let me make sure I know which one is which. Yep. It's a 16.
16. So this, you kind of find your way to around. You find your way around. You work your way around the room, playing. There are to include the doorway that you came through. There are a total of 4, like cardinal directioned entrances or other doorways, total doorways. So 3 other ones that you haven't been in, and you find yourself kind of following those acoustics, as you said. Find yourself in the center of the room. It's kind of a dome, so that's really kind of the. I don't know a lot about
Best
acoustics,
place.
but that's
Yeah.
probably the best. That's probably the best spot from what little I do know. And you continue playing, and that kind of feeling of welcomeness, of rest, it is there, is perhaps even a bit stronger than it was, say, when you began feeling it outside. Like it's a little more intense here, it's almost a little too inviting. It's like a slightly overly warm. Your bed is nice when it's warm, and it's nice when it's a little too warm, but you definitely know that it's a little too warm, but you're like not going to leave anyway. That's how I am. I like it warm.
Cold
sometimes.
elsewhere, but
yeah. And you
If I picked up any of the history of this place, if I figured out from any of the stories, the tales, the Kuning history that I would know just because they are my people.
You I think last time you had recalled hearing of a place that you think is probably this place, that was has been used as kind of a rest stop, as it were, or a way break, a place where your people would lay over on if they were journeying to to that place that I fucking forgot the name of again. Hang on, I'll look at the map. Even though
Detroit.
even though it's in PDF format, and I
East Ruins.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, East Ruins. Let's try. I think the last time we tried to talk about that, I had forgotten the name of it. East Ruins, and because that's a thing that your people have done fairly recently.
And I've been wanting to do for a long time.
Yeah, and you kind of, as you walk around this place, even here you can see that a lot of the kind of carvings and relief, maybe less so than in the foyer, are in certain spots are rubbed, almost indistinguishable, and you can see that. I think specifically with your abilities as a bard, your background, right? that a lot of you get the sense that a lot of these carvings kind of tell a story, and that this is some kind of like, this is a, like it progresses in some fashion. In a strangely circular room, you never know where it begins, which is always the real heart of the story.
Unless
and
it's just a story of creation where it ends and it begins, and it's an ever going circle of life where one dies, one is reborn, and it starts over again for the next session. Do I see reference to the lost gods, the lost goddesses? I'm trying to find my lost forgotten sisters.
You see, give me, let's do, what do we want to do this? I would allow either a perception roll or a history roll, or either a religion or arcana roll.
I'll
work.
do perception
and ultimately I would give you different answers based on which you rolled.
Well,
because that's the new thing I do now, I guess.
Okay. Well, it'll be perception at this point.
Okay.
That's just a 7.
Sure. You
Wait. It's 7. It's fine.
Okay.
I've got 3 advantages. I was thinking of using one.
You can use one if you want.
Yeah, let me use one.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, not better.
That's
one better.
One better is
still better.
A little better. Yeah.
That's an
this
8.
Is like 8. So you're really looking, and it's difficult to really kind of maybe while you're kind of in this mode of playing and prayer, that's kind of state that you're in. It's hard to tell. Some of these figures that you can see are obviously probably like deity figures, or spirits, right? So there's definitely, you can tell that okay, these figures, these carvings are people. These carvings, these figures are more than people. Maybe stuff with, different like animal heads or like just different qualities. But a lot of those figures are also tend to be some of the ones that are some of the parts that are like rubbed out. So it's hard to tell. You think you might be able to, you think you wouldn't count yourself out were you like putting your sole purpose to like looking and an archaeology, but whilst playing your song, it is a difficult thing.
It's comforting. And so, do I notice any of the doors? I'm probably going to keep wandering.
Yes, you have a door to your north, to your east, and to your south.
Go straight ahead. That would mean
east.
East.
All right. You step into this room, and as you do, similar lights kind of light up, not unlike, not like the tracings, but like these kind of braziers light up, offering light. It is more warm here as well.
Is it getting hot, or is it just?
It's not hot. It's getting comfortable, right? Like it's wintertime. It's nighttime outside, and like this room is you could equate it to your house. In context, your house, if the fire hasn't been on maybe for an hour or two, so it's still a little warm. It's not super warm, but it's still a little warm. But this this room, like as you step in and these braziers kind of light up, you also see a kind of, you're almost immediately drawn to a kind of dim, kind of green light at the center of this room. And you look as you play your music, and you see a small spruce tree, perhaps like 2 feet in height, grows in kind of a, I don't know, a growy spot. There's, the rooms are carved very intentionally, not like stone.
Well, I mean,
brick,
I'm
dwarven type
underground,
stuff.
and there's a tree under here.
Yeah, but there's like a circular spot where the floor ends, and there's dirt, and there's the spruce tree growing, and as you kind of sit and look at it, and you're like, well, that's a little weird.
Yeah, like I would stop down and kneel to it, and again, I'm offering my song to it and its life forces, and to its warmth and its nutrient.
As you do so, it's kind of light, it's green light kind of begins to radiate a little brighter, and it starts to get warmer in here, in a nice, comforting way.
My song is a song of hope and of spring, of rebirth at this point in time. It changes to a little bit to that of my deep wish of a spring and of a freedom.
Perhaps the spruce tree grows a little bit under your song. You cast about from this strange tree down here and underground, and you can see kind of around the edges of this room. Again, another kind of medium-sized room, maybe 20,
I notice
20,
what's
30
happened
feet.
behind me?
Do you take a look, like
these
into the room you
rooms.
came from?
Yeah, my path behind. Has it gone dark? Has those lights disappeared? Okay, so the lights are following me.
Yep. You look around this room, and there are a number of kind of bed pallets built up around, kind of on the edges of this room. There are some probably what would have once been much more comfortable, perhaps benches and chairs, but have since kind of decayed with disuse, as have these bed pallets, although you can still make out where they are. There's some, you get the smell of like old straw and pine boughs and whatnot. And you also see kind of at the end opposite the window, or I'm sorry, the door, the archway that you came in, a hearth, a small, kind of modest hearth, but you can see that it has kind of partially collapsed, like the chimney looks like it's partially collapsed, and you can see ice and kind of has forced its way in a bit through a crack in the chimney, in part of the chimney.
I see this place is kind of a mess, and as I'm playing, I let my mage hand come out, have it tidy up a little bit. I'm not going to do a lot because it is just a mage hand, but it does its little, like, so as I'm playing, it's a little bit of like the mage hand is doing the sorcerer's apprentice and sweeping some stuff up and tending to things, and a hand is dancing.
You can do some of that too with prestidigitation. Am I correct?
It's not a spell it's not a cantrip that I have right now.
Fair enough.
It's my mage hand is going to do it.
Mage hand, yeah. You play, and your mage hand kind of cleans up a few things and maybe straightens up some of the debris
And
that have spilled
as an
around.
offering to those before me, those that will come after me, to the magic of this place, the old ways, lest they be forgotten.
Mhm.
This winter ruins them all.
And it will. The winter always ruins everything. Yeah. Well, so yeah, you spend a little bit of time doing that, and it is much tidier in here. Now you have little piles of debris in some places, which is in some much better than a scattering of debris.
Yeah.
What would you like to do next?
Well, I see another door.
There were 2 other doors that you have not been back in that center room that you just came from.
But this is where the tree is.
This is but this is not the center room. This is the east room.
Right, this is the east room with the tree.
Yep. So you have a north. There's no more doors in this room.
No more doors in this room.
Yep.
How's the tree responded to my attempt at tidying?
It's
Roll a
indifferent.
persuasion. It's indifferent. It likes the music more than the tidying.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is the light still behind me into the center room?
The light you look behind, and the light in the center is not. The braziers in the center room are not lit.
Well, this tree seems so friendly.
It does.
Do I know any cunning myths about this tree? Stories or tales or songs?
Let's history roll it.
You make me roll the hardest ones. As a bard, I would know these things through wisdom and insight, but not necessarily through history. But let's give it a shot. I don't know a whole hell of a lot. That's an 8.
You do like 8. You don't recall any like specific sort of special spruce tree knowledge, like specific, right?
Anything specific, just the myths, the legends.
Nothing.
Nursery rhymes. Cunning nursery rhymes.
I like that. Maybe you remember a piece of a nursery rhyme, some kind of mother to child tale about the benefits of a well-kept spruce tree, and things like speaking its proper name, perhaps.
Aha! I must know the tree's name. Wouldn't any child who knows the song know the tree's name?
Not with an 8.
Not with an 8. Well then. Like, that's... Anyway. No, if there's nothing to do when you want me to leave this room, I guess, instead of sitting next to my tree and just playing for it...
I mean, you can keep doing that.
Probably what I'm going to do.
Fine.
I'm going to sit next to my tree and play to my tree.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like I need to explore anything, and this tree is...
It is nice in here. It is nice.
Safe, and it grows, and it responds, and it's an audience, and an offering.
Mm-hmm. and you feel good here. It's comfortable, and as you sit here or stand or pace and play, it gets nicer in here. Not like raging fire in that hearth nice, but comfortable. It's super nice. You almost forget that it's probably like dark and
Cold outside.
there's wind out there and cold. You almost forget that. You lot out there in the foyer, just chilling out there in your bloodbath.
Murder Las Vegas.
Bathing in the blood. We offered the blood. It's very different.
Well, that's the thing about arterial spray, right? It just kind of goes everywhere. Especially in the movies. I don't know that it really does in real life, but it does in the movies. Yeah.
It was worth it.
So Astrid whips off her mask and she turns to the rest of the group and says, Hell spoke to me. I think she spoke to me.
Even Gunder just goes.
What did she say?
What?
She said she wasn't going to let the girl go. I don't know what to do. I don't have any other spells.
I think this may be beyond our ken here, and at best we can take her back to the village and perhaps do something in the temple. That is my thought.
Is there a
Yes.
danger to bringing her back to the village in this state?
Yes.
I am concerned about that decision.
There is no good decision here.
But
The-
there are
the girl-
decisions that are better than others.
I don't know for sure that she is a danger if she's tied up. We haven't seen her.
Equally
don't-
importantly, I might say she is from Mulgore. She is a daughter of the town. If we return only with her corpse, this does not seem the best of things.
We could bring her back and just see if we can, I don't know, get permission to bring her into the town.
Perhaps we
Yes.
could bring her to the priest of Tyr that is there.
Yes.
This was my thought.
He's certainly been doing his priestly duties longer than I have. Maybe he knows of a way?
It would be good to seek counsel with someone who knows more than we do if that possibility exists.
I agree.
I mean, I didn't even finish my training.
You could have fooled me.
You're doing very well. Wait, you had training?
Yes. I came from a temple where I was trained to be a priest of Balder from a very young age.
I did not know these things.
I guess we don't have a temple here. All we have here is a hole. But I assure you that back home it's a much bigger deal.
No, I do not doubt you. Despite my time with men of the gods, I have had very little formal interaction with priests or temples. So these are things that I have seen, but not entered into.
Well, I would say that there's a lot of us there, and most of us come as foundlings or as gifted to the temple, and then we're trained until we have all the knowledge that we're able to become full-fledged priests. But I was only
A Padawan?
maybe 15 or 16 when I ended up here. Well, not here, but in Mulgar.
Vidar, do you have another option?
He's listening right now for Paya's song. Is she still playing at this point?
Yep, you can still hear her song. Again, it is a bit distant, but it is not quite that end of the long hall that you heard up the stairwell.
A bit distracted, he turns to you, Gundar, and says, "A decision of this magnitude should be made with all of us. I think it might be time to seek out Paya for this discussion to progress."
I think it may be well past time. In fact, that is very wise, my friend. Theodore does not like me for obvious reasons.
I don't think
Perhaps,
we can
Victor,
get in
you
there.
might find it to be more pleased to see you.
He stands up from his seated position.
You want to try? See if it'll let you in?
"I will." And he... Yes?
I just want to stop you real quick, just so I can remember. So obviously, we have a bit of blood that has found its way to certain places. Somebody had put something in one of those little those little nooks, and that was, I'm guessing, Astrid, because you're raising your hand.
I put incense and some metal shavings because
Okay.
we weren't sure what was left before.
Sure. Awesome. Vidar, you stand up and go to step into the doorway.
I had also put out an offering of food and herbs from my pouch
Yes.
in an offering to Freya specifically. I also chanted a bit of a whispered song while Astrid was performing her ritual.
Mm-hmm. As you go to step through the doorway, please make a wisdom saving throw.
I will use my one advantage for this.
You needed
that
it.
will be
Good.
a 12.
12. You step into the doorway. It is it's almost like, you know, when you have a real nice pudding and there's that little skin on the top and the spoon doesn't quite break through right away. It's like that. But
Are we going to
there's
have
like
lots of pudding metaphors tonight?
I hope so.
Yep.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, that's where we're at. I need some pudding.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Somebody give me some vanilla pudding, because that's
Maybe
the
a
kind of guy I
creme
am.
brulee.
Ooh, I do love a good creme
Move-
brulee.
Move up to that.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a little bit of like resistance, but like not enough to like really even necessarily halt you. And you step through into the next room beyond. As you step through, you can see that a very similar those lights that kind of followed you as you step down into the foyer kind of do a similar pattern across the floor, and 4 braziers light up kind of in the center of the room with that fire that's not fire, and light up a very spherical room. You can see 3 other doorways in this room, and you can hear that Paya's sound is now you're hearing it like in normal, ultimately like in normal time, and you can hear her playing in the room straight across from you, the east room, as it were.
And there are 2 other doors leading north.
There's
and
a door
south.
to the north, and there's a door to your south. And indeed, actually, as you step into this room and this room lights up for you, you can now see that east room also is lit up, and you can see Paya, perhaps with her back to you, sitting. There's like a strange kind of green glow in front of her as she sits and is obviously, jaw harping it up.
Vidar, I'll walk to the east door, the threshold of the door, and stop for a moment to listen to the song. Wondering if it's something that perhaps I've heard before, or maybe heard her play.
I think this is a new song for her because she is also specifically was using the song of home power spell. Is that correct? Am I remembering that correct, Amanda?
I just thought this would be a time to actually learn it, but yes, I am playing the Song of Home.
Okay,
Well,
yeah,
I will mark off that spell slot then, if that is.
But we don't have to do that, but that's why I wanted to double check.
Because I was originally playing.
You did say that.
Said that I was playing in game. I said I was playing a Song of Rest for everyone as I wandered downstairs.
Okay.
Then
when
we got down there, I was saying, well, this will be a fun story as I learn the Song of Home even better than I.
Okay.
But either way, if you want me to mark the spell slot off, I can.
You don't have to. That was just something I thought I remembered. If you want to, that makes sense, I think. But if you don't want to, I get it. I'm not going to force you.
Is this place warm because of my song? I was meaning to ask that and didn't stop. If I take a breath and stop playing?
What does that spell do again?
It's complicated because it's an 8-hour concentration spell.
Yeah.
Wow.
Figure.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, it's a weird spell. I really can't do anything other than play. As soon as the song stops, I think the spell stops, but I don't know if it continues. If I pick it up in that 8 hours, I have no idea how it actually works, because I don't know how you keep an 8-hour concentration up.
Paya is now a jam band.
It's called meth.
Yeah, that's... or cunning ability of I ignore penalties of first level exhaustion. So there's that too. I guess that's also cunning meth.
Really? Kuning's to ignore the first level of exhaustion?
Yes, we do.
How did I not know that? That's so badass. That's like the most powerful character in the game. I don't care what anybody else says.
So I don't recognize the song. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. You probably get sorry. Yeah. You get
you catch that in spring.
There are pieces of it that sound familiar to you, I think, Vidar. That you remember some of these like sections of the song in some form or another from your youth, but like in this arrangement at this scale, and also in this format of being from a jaw harp, it's different, but it is but pieces of it you do recognize.
After a bit of listening at the door, Vidar walks in and sits cross-legged just off to the side where his presence is known and he's seen perhaps, but not to interfere, a bit deferential, and listens to her play her song and just kind of takes it in, not wanting to interrupt whatever she has going on.
So she's sitting kind of around this by this small spruce tree. So do you like pull up a spot like at the tree, or are you like off to the side a bit?
Off to the side, but close enough where she knows that I'm there, so she can see me. I'm not like sitting right next to her, but yeah, I don't know how big this room is, but he's certainly close-ish.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, Vidar goes into this doorway, and you kind of, as you watch him go through this doorway, the three of you, it is almost like there's a skin on this doorway, or like a weird filter. So as he passes through it, almost like perhaps like there's a sheet of gauze that hangs down. You see him enter the room, but it's what you can see is muted. It's not even like he went into a room that is dark. It's like there's this layer of otherness that is between the two. But he is not stopped by vines.
And we just watch him just disappear, and then he's just gone.
Yep.
Peter, are you okay?
It felt weird. Very strange.
Yeah, you hear Astrid, and then when he responds, you hear Vidar, but it is like from very far away. Like,
Do I hear them?
you do as well, yeah.
Okay.
And you sense when he sits down, you sense that his presence there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you hear somebody shout very close to you.
Can we
And you
take
hear
this girl with us?
With that,
I think it is
song
wisest that you and I
stops.
stay here.
and as I'm sitting around this glowing tree with this boy in front of me,
Off to the side.
off to the side,
Thank you.
I turn so that he is in front of me. We have more in common. I wish upon anyone.
Why are you? Is there something wrong? I've been meaning to ask you. You've said these things about my situation with the Rangers. What is it? Do you have?
You're a boy. You're still alive.
Yes.
You were owned. You are property. Someone let you go
Yes.
without there being a cost. That is hard for me to trust. I've seen people let go, freed. There was always a cost. Great cost. Not always, at first. So while I'm not afraid of ghosts, you strike me as a dead boy walking.
I do not understand why you say these things. But I do
You
not
give away your
doubt
horse?
I do not doubt
You give away your gold?
I have no gold.
You will never have gold. You should never have gold, for you can own nothing. You can inherit nothing. You can leave nothing. You are nothing. You have been nothing. You have been bought. You have been sold. Oddly, you have not been broken. That also worries me.
You say these things like you know my
I know.
experience, but you do not.
I know that of property. I know that of chattel. You are a man to boot. Let a boy live? I've known people who were freed. Women who were freed. Well, not the women. Children. 14th child. One that you would not allow to live. It was a brooding mare. Brooding mare had 14 children. 14 foals, that mare would not be allowed to live. The 14th child might be unowned. Woman is meant to brood. More, much more so. Even you would a mare. Have a choice ever? Anything? You are owned or free, and you believe in a freedom without cost. Very, very frightened of that. You fear hell? Hell is patient, who knows what you are dealing with a human. Owner. Former thrall? Someone who would own thrall? Someone who thinks that a human can be property? Yeah. It's nothing to be trusted. No relationship to ever have this much. Don't understand your relationship with this master.
Vidar just looks confused. And he thinks for a minute. He says, I am not property, Paya. I am not a thrall. I am a freeman. I have earned
Once
my
a
freedom.
thrall,
I have
always
served.
a thrall.
You are wrong.
You never lose that.
At this
It's
point,
with
he
you
stands
forever.
up and he says, you are wrong about me, Paya. You will come to realize that in time. But for now, we have other things to deal with, and you are needed. And he steps out of the room and walks away.
I sit right down in front of the tree because I'm needed by this tree.
Meanwhile,
We're just having a rave.
Vidar, where did you guys get glow sticks? It's just shocking grasp over and over again.
Light switching.
He gets
Like
popping
fire.
flames on his fingers.
Yeah, Vidar has gone into this room.
I've left the room.
Well, from the foyer. What do you do? You've called after him. He has responded and said, "It was weird." You can hear voices. Perhaps he's talking with Paya, but it's indistinguishable from this distance, perhaps.
Should we come? Should we stay? Is it warm in there?
It is. It's actually rather nice in here.
When I walk back out into the central chamber, I'm just gonna take a quick look into one of the other rooms, maybe the north room.
The
just
north
to see
room.
if it continues on.
Give me a disadvantaged perception roll, as this room that room, the north room in this case, is in fact in darkness.
That would be an 8.
An 8. Let me double check the north room. You peer into this room, without going into it. You can see that it is perhaps a bit thinner. Like, you get a sense that there are sides that are closer to the edges of the door than, say, this room that you're in, which is a very round dome-like room, and the room that Paya is in to the east. And you get the distinct feeling of like some of the shadow play of like different, like alcoves at different height. You can't make out a lot, but you get the feeling of deeper shadow, like 2 sets, one on each side, kind of before things become almost unintelligible. And you get the distinct, as you kind of peer into this space, you get the distinct smell of old decay, like that kind of decay-y, like musty, like
Like an
under
earthy natural
layer.
decay, or like dead animal.
Yeah, not
Like-
not well, yeah, like a kind of a cross between the two. There's like hints of like the nope, but mostly it's like that kind of like that like under layer, like the smell of like the bottom layer of a nice 4-inch loam.
So
You don't know what I'm talking about?
no, I do, and I'm wondering because you answered in both directions. I'm wondering
I did.
if it smells
It's supposed to be confusing.
offensive or pleasant. It sounds like it's both.
Yeah, you get a
Yeah.
little bit. There's like a little bit of that offensive layer, but it's almost covered and overpowered by
Okay.
by that kind of natural work of decay.
I'm just sort of poking my head in, and I'll withdraw, and I will head back out into the foyer where the rest of the party is.
Okay. Yeah, you come back out through into the
Gunder,
foyer.
have you
with
killed
no
anyone
problem.
else while I've
I'm
been
still
gone?
here.
Okay. No, there's no additional
We're
bodies
just
laying on the floor.
confused.
Hey,
I'm listening to player.
thanks for the raid, Role Players Guild. Appreciate it.
Ah,
Hello there.
Thank you.
hello.
I will relay to them that Paya is in a really foul mood, and she is playing music with a tree.
Right.
Hey,
Well then.
We all carry
think-
our burdens in our own way. We at least should stay here through morning, yes?
Vidar, do you think I can go through the door?
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm just gonna start marching through the door.
All right, give me a wisdom saving throw. You have made no op. Is that correct? It's too late to say I'm going to do it right now, but I just
Right.
want to make sure that is correct. Okay.
No, that's correct.
Okay.
Wisdom.
Yep.
I'm horrible at that. I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, not too bad.
Thanks for the follows, guys and gals.
Yeah.
Mountain Goth Mom. What's a crumpet?
Goth Mom,
12.
I love it.
Nerdy Excursions. Great names.
You, Stieg, you step through. There's a bit more resistance than it felt like, than it appeared that it felt like when Vidar went through. But there is a kind of a break in that resistance, and you step through into this circular room. The lights light up. You can see Paya in a room opposite you. That room is lit up. She is no longer playing music, or did you start again?
I've stripped from the waist down, or from the waist up. Oh, I'm topless. My shirt is off, and
Waist up.
my jacket
Just
is
no
off.
pants.
I'm not wearing, my top is off, and
Yeah.
as you walk in, you will see ropes. You'll see my back just covered in scars and lashings. And I'm just sitting in front of the tree, staring at this and at my people, at my kind, and all you see now are just a back that's just covered in...
I'm gonna awkwardly just kind of turn away and go towards that other room.
Which other room?
The one that
There is a north and a south. Ooh, also, you get the distinct feeling of something that you know. Stieg, hang on, let me double check so I can know that I am telling you the correct thing.
Is it ruined?
Why would you think that? That's preposterous.
Because he's a rune walker.
I mean, you're not wrong.
If I go in, are you going to kill the girl?
Yes.
Of course not.
He just looks confused. It's like,
I would never let him do that, Astrid.
I killed the man
I
who we had
mean,
no other
that's
option of how
very
to deal
sudden.
with. Well, yes, if you have to kill a man, you should do it quickly and cleanly.
That wasn't the cleanest, but it was quick.
Look,
So
I
she will
do
be
not have much
alright.
experience killing men. It should be said.
This is a mess. Look around you. There's
there is
blood everywhere.
There's like a little trail of blood over to the alcove, and then you stuck his head in there.
Where's Paya's
So-
mage hand when you need it?
Yeah. You
Good
just have
has
the
no idea
presence
what
of
to do.
something.
He's just
All right, so you've promised Vida that you will not kill this girl while I'm gone.
I swear to Thor, I will not kill this woman while you are gone or while you are here. I will not kill her.
All right, I'm going in. She's gonna head forward.
Shame I'm a secret necromancer.
They always fail to suspect that. Stieg, you detect. Ultimately, the mechanic is that you have to make checks, but in this case, I'm going to give it to you. You detect a powerful rune to the north.
Ooh, what's that? Okay, I'll turn to the north door.
Okay.
And Vidar already opened that one, right?
These doors have no doors.
Oh, they're just
really
like
just
open.
archways,
Oh, okay.
kind of doorways.
I will. Is it dark in there?
From here, yes. Since you have not entered that until you enter that room, that's kind of the mechanic of lights turning on.
Okay.
In this case.
Okay, I'll go into the room.
Okay. You enter this room, and in similar fashion, lights kind of light up and move around this room. In this case, they move up and down the walls, as well as along the floor, tracing these designs. And you kind of see before you a long, narrow sort of room that kind of extends away and at a slight down angle from you. So the far end of the room is much lower than where you are. Along these walls are large person-sized nooks, two at each position. So there's like one at about waist height and then one at about shoulder height, kind of carved into these walls, and you can see a variety of bodies that are laid to rest here. And this there's probably, I didn't write a number. All right, a good number. There's probably at least maybe 12 to wait. Hang on. It's shit. Give me a second. I can. Oh god. Let's say there's 18. 18? I can't do math right now. Let's say there's 18. There are 18 like body holes. Body holes. That's where you put a dead body. That's where you put a dead body, right in the body hole.
Oh shit! I left it in the wrong place. I
I'll put it in the
apologize.
body hole.
Okay, can I walk towards where I'm, picking up on this rune?
There's 27.
27.
27, not 18.
It's like a catacomb, right?
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, you get that musty decay smell that I described to Vidar, kind of wafts at you, and you at a quick glance you see like the kind of bodies that you can see closer to the door are much newer, although still they've been here for some time, and you can see like further, like a couple of nooks further down. You can see like a bone, skeletal foot kind of sticking out of some kind of wrapping.
Real
So
quick,
there's
Initiative League just rated us. Thanks, guys.
2 raids.
Y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks everyone. Welcome to our game. we're playing people in a Viking style scenario. A Viking. Wow, I can't talk. In a Norse-inspired campaign setting of Svilland by Dream Realm Storytellers, they're exploring perhaps an old ruins of some kind, or some kind of cultural hidey hole
Crypt.
by crypt, which includes a crypt and an underground tree by a subjugated people, which is a unfortunate thing, but that's what it is. So yeah, thanks for joining us. It's fun. I think. Astrid, you were like, hey, I'm gonna go through the door.
Yes.
Yeah, give me
Go for
a
it.
wisdom saving throw, please.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm in like Flynn.
Yeah, you step to the doorway and
What'd you roll?
step through. She rolled a
A
natural 20.
There you go.
For a total of.
You like I think Gunder, you see her kind of pause, not unlike the other two did, as they kind of meet that resistance. However, Astrid, you pause because you're expecting that resistance. It's like when you're about to step off of a high dive platform and you're like,
Yeah.
it's going to be weird, but it's not weird.
Okay.
So you like pause a little bit and you're like, oh, there's nothing here. You step right through. You immediately feel like warm and welcome. You can see Paya in a room across from you. And you can see lights from a room to the north, to your left.
This is amazing. I don't know what you guys were talking about. It's warm and like it feels really good in here. I'm gonna go look around.
Yeah.
And
While
I see
she's doing that, Gunder's just. He takes off his cloak, looks down at the poor girl who's both trussed up and possessed and unconscious. Just goes, well, it's just you and me, little sister, and puts the cloak over and puts her in.
I'm here too, pal.
Vidar's there too.
He still wraps her in a cloak, fine.
I can't be nice when other people are watching.
That was very kind of you,
Hard.
Gunder. Very kind of you. You have a big heart.
He just kind of shrugs.
It might be cracked, but it is big.
Dun, dun, dun.
Anyway, Astrid was doing a bunch of stuff and I interrupted. I
Yeah,
apologize.
Yeah.
all right. I walk in and I see Paya,
Mhm.
scars all over her back,
Mm-hmm.
playing for a tree. And I
Are
just-
you still playing music?
No.
She's not playing music.
Oh, okay.
She's sitting in front of this tree, stripped to the waist. What's your
Okay.
strength score, Paya?
Strength?
Yeah. I want to know how muscly your back is.
That's 3.
Nice. +3 strength? Yeah,
Plus 3
jacked. Jacked
Yep.
back. That's looks gross and nasty and ripped up and beat
Scarred.
up and scarred. But yeah.
I'm going to like poke my head in and like look to see what she's looking at, and I see a tree.
Yep. Yeah, you see this like 2-foot high, green glowing kind of spruce tree.
Okay. And that's it.
Yeah, there's like some old bed pallets and benches and a busted hearth
Oh, okay.
in the room. And then more of these carvings, similar to kind of the carvings that you guys found in the foyer. Very similar type carvings. Some stuff very worn, some stuff less worn.
Okay.
Similar motifs.
Paya, are you okay?
Doubtful.
It's a nice tree that you have found. Okay, well then I'm just gonna out here. And I back up. And I look around.
You, you see again a room, a lit up kind of room. You can see kind of looks catacomby.
Okay.
And Stieg is kind of working his way down that room, and then there's a room in shadow and darkness to the south.
Okay, I want to. Well, I'll go catch up with Stieg first.
Okay. Let's take a break.
Okay.
It's like it's 8:30 here in the central United States. Where
9:30 in the real time zone.
Yeah, well, sure. Let's take a 10-minute. Let's do a bio break. Get a refish on a beverage. Get a snack. Raiders who are still here. Dave, who rated us again? I forget already.
We got rated by the Role Players Guild. We got rated by the Initiative League. And all of their buddies.
And
so
all of your friends.
Y'all.
Everyone who's shown up and rated us, thanks. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us for this interesting section of our adventure. Hang out for another 10 minutes, and we'll be back with some more cool discoveries to happen here in the cold north. All right, we'll see you in 10. Welcome back, everyone. I hope your bio break was enjoyable. I hope you got a refresh like I did, or had a snack, or perhaps petted a cat. But now it's time to be back telling stories with my friends here in our Midwinter Keening game set in Svilland, right here in the north, at the apex of a waterfall in some kind of perhaps cooning sort of sanctum. Some kind of, some people might call it a dungeon, although I don't really refer to this in my headcanon as a dungeon because it's not really dungeony, other than it is in fact below the ground. And there are
below ground.
There are some dead bodies. There is a trap.
This is a 5-room dungeon.
There are 5 rooms. Yeah, that's hey. Fucking A. This is a 5-room dungeon. First 5-room dungeon in Svilland. Maybe. So we have Paya sitting in front of this kind of strange, mystical, perhaps spruce tree, bearing herself to the world, perhaps both figuratively and literally, in some ways. Stieg, the rune keeper, is following his sense of runes into a catacomb-like section. Gunder and Vidar and Tyra, who is in fact an unconscious person tied up, who is perhaps possessed by hell, are in the foyer still, and Astrid is in kind of the center room, wondering what she should do next.
I'm just going to give Paya her space, and I'm going to go look for Stieg.
Yeah, you see Stieg kind of... Stieg, how are you proceeding in this room? I don't want to speak for you, but please paint us a picture with your words.
I'm just kind of like walking slowly through the chamber, trying to kind of detect that rune that I picked up on, and just kind of getting a good look at like the walls and stuff to see if I recognize anything.
Okay.
Does it beep like a metal detector?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember how it's described.
It says it's like Odin. 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 Stieg, why don't you give me perhaps let's call it investigation roll,
Right.
as you make your way around this or down this hall-shaped room.
13.
13. You kind of as you make your way along this hall, you kind of here's a separate question before we get to that part that we just told you about. It doesn't actually give a big description on what this detect sense is like. So what do you think it is like? What is it like for you?
I would say that you sense the presence. So I would say perhaps maybe it glows a little bit, like a faint sort of aura, and maybe depending on its school of magic, like maybe a slight sound of some sort.
Okay. Ooh, that's interesting. I like that.
Whispers, or
All right, let me hang on. Let me scroll down so I can find this damn thing and look at what it is again. Because I have what it is written down, but it doesn't include that part. Runes. Oh. Yeah, so you can kind of see the hint of a glow further down in one of these nooks. You get the feeling that it's I say a hint because it's kind of covered up a bit. So you just vaguely get this glow. But you hear kind of as you move and as you kind of look around and you're kind of inspecting, and kind of looking at these, perhaps looking into these burial nooks as you make your way down. You hear it's kind of like a low sort of chanting chorus as if a number of voices are like chanting in ritual, in a spell sort of way. It's a in some ways it's a familiar sound because it is of course something that you have done, chanting for magical purposes. I think that's kind of the audio component to this detection. I like that. And you pass by, as I said, a number of different, a variety of corpses in various states of age and decay, all very well cared for. Like they were put here with a purpose. They have all are wrapped in like shrouds, in various kind of or in various like styles, or rather materials. The ones closer to the door that you entered in are the newer sorts of bodies, so they're a little fresher. Their material components a little more new, a little less decayed. Further on is much more skeletal figures and much more decayed, like clothing or shrouds or whatever accoutrement that they were buried in. I'm sorry. What was that? What was that roll again? 13?
Yeah, it was a 13.
13. You as you are kind of making your way along, you kind of brush against, you probably try, I have to imagine maybe you try to like not bump into corpses.
Yeah.
I would. But it's, it gets a little, as you go further, it gets a little narrower. Not like super narrow, but it's a little deceiving, and so you brush perhaps against one of these figures, and it like catches on your like on your sleeve or on your cloak, like you would catch on a branch that, as you were passing by a tree, and as it doesn't stick for very long, and it kind of comes off, or you kind of shrug a bit and it comes off, and then you hear a distinct metallic ting as something falls and hits, and then you hear a metallic rolling sound as something rolls away in front of you, and you catch a gleam of perhaps a coin or perhaps a ring or some kind of round object, at any rate, kind of rolling down further into the room.
All right, can I bend over and take a closer look at it?
Yeah, you can absolutely bend over and try to grab it or put a foot down by it or on it, or
Yeah, I'll try to stop it from rolling.
Yeah, you do so, and you discover that it is, in fact, a ring. And nope, I'm going the wrong way. I have it. Oh, there it is. Oh, of course, there's not a description of it. So this ring is. I think it's probably like metal wise, it's probably like a maybe a copper, or like a probably a bronze ring, perhaps. So it's got kind of that, and it's old, so it's got kind of that, almost kind of earthy, kind of gold tarnished look to it as far as like its metallic nature, and it is carved or formed in a way that it looks like intertwining branches and leaves of some kind. If you would like to know what kind, I would allow for a nature roll. If you're less interested in that at this point, that's also fine. But there is a nature roll that you could make to determine, oh, it's this kind of thing. And it has a.
I rolled an 8.
An 8. Yeah.
It seems to have some sort of writing.
Yeah.
It's made out of
looks
sticks.
nice. It looks nice.
Leaves.
There is yeah, it's twigs, it's leaves that it's kind of in a woven sort of way. And then there is a dull kind of white speckled with dark stone, not like a gem, more like a polished river stone, kind of set into the ring, like almost like diorite, if you know what that looks like. Ooh, I'm remembering the right one. No, do-right donuts. Thanks, Google.
Donuts sound nice.
super helpful.
But
Yeah,
at least you have donuts.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sprinkles?
is this what I believe to be the source of the runic energy I was picking up on?
Nope. That's further down.
Interesting.
Yeah, you pick this up and you're kind of looking at it, and like, as you turn your head kind of one way maybe to get a closer look at the stone or at some of these branches, as you're trying to figure out, like, oh, this is made to look like sticks and leaves and stuff. What are they? You hear that low chanting again. Maybe that's kind of what distracts you from determining what kind of plants these are carved in likeness of.
Put it on.
I'm gonna just pull out some, like a rag or something from my bag and wrap it up, put it in my pocket, and then can I see where it fell out from?
Yeah, you kind of look back and there's like a figure, one of the corpses, and there's like a arm that's kind of fallen a little bit to the side, as like a piece of, the wrapping, the shroud has kind of deteriorated a bit, and it kind of has released a bit of that. And there's like you definitely see like, like a bad bent angled like skeleton hand, where
I'm gonna put,
it was.
I'll just put a gold piece in the hand, and in Kuning I'll say, "I'm no grave robber," and then I'll keep moving.
As you robbed a grave.
You made a trade with the dead.
Makes me feel better on the inside.
That's fair. It might keep some of the Dvergar away. Oh! I'm just. That's a different.
I'm not
dungeon.
taking that chance.
That's a different dungeon. Yeah, you keep working your way down. Astrid, you enter this room kind of like inquiring as to what Stieg is doing.
Yes.
That was your intent. So yeah, you kind of follow him, and you see that he's maybe like he's a good ways down this hall. It's fairly long. Whatever half of 27 is men long, give or take. So it's a ways, right? And he's maybe halfway down. You kind of see him bend over, like his cloak catches on something, and then you kind of see him start, and he bends over and picks up, and he eyeballs something as you kind of enter this hall room.
Have you found anything? What is this place?
A crypt. It's a tomb. These are all bodies. Some of them older than others. I did find something, but I don't have time to look at it right now.
All right.
I'll have to take a closer look at it when I have a little more time to sit with it.
Okay.
But there's something up here. I have to check out.
What is it?
Magic.
Can I make a?
It's rune. There's a rune up here.
All right. Can I make any kind of observation check, or like he said, there's magic here.
Sure. Yeah, you cast about. Please make a roll. Perhaps perception would do us well in this instance.
Magic.
There's dead people here.
I don't know what
And it smells.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
it's. Oh, where's my perception? Oh, okay. So yeah, it's like a 9.
A 9. Yeah, you cast about. Yeah, you see a bunch of revered dead. Very well cared for, intentionally buried. Different burial practice than your. Like, this is a little strange. Like this whole area, this whole complex, this whole 5-room dungeon, right, is strange. But like this spot is particularly strange. Like this isn't how like Svilanders bury their dead. You're not known for catacombs, and you're not known for whole burials.
As I go by, I'll go, sorry.
Yeah, I'll keep
you
moving
just-
forward.
Yeah, you follow him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after some time, you make your way kind of towards the end, to the oldest part, the last burial kind of nook, the last body hole, to use my previous words, is by itself, because of course 27 is a uneven number, and
Go one more.
it is it's
Uneven.
like you can see that there was something in this nook, obviously judging by the vaguely person-shaped pile of kind of dust and ash, not really ash, but like it's a fine old bone that is now little more than ash, and pieces of shroud are here, and you hear this chanting is now louder, and you can see that beneath this shroud is a faint, almost perhaps bluish glow of a rune.
All right. Can I pull the shroud off of it?
You can. I would appreciate it. However, if you would make a wisdom saving throw for me first.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Ooh. Just looking that up real quick. What was I on that? Okay.
Hey, no worries. It's not like we're on stream or anything.
Take your time.
Hey, natural 20
Woo! Nice.
Well done, my friend. Well done.
plus 2 for 22.
Yeah, you lift up this shroud, and there is almost a force of personality, a force of presence that you feel kind of as you lift this shroud, that it doesn't so much assault you as is there and is like, it's when there's a cat under a blanket and you lift up the blanket and the cat's like obviously looks at you like, what the fuck are you doing? It's kind of like that. but it doesn't lash out. It kind of it kind of, it doesn't fade away, but it kind of recedes. And you can see there, kind of beneath the shroud, amongst kind of a pile of shards of bone and old body, a small, maybe half palm sized stone of granite carved with Ansu's, the rune of magic, upon it. It's the one that looks like an F. I probably have it, but it's the rune of magic.
Are you Robert Graves?
Yes. I think I am. I didn't mean to, but I can't leave this behind.
Can't stop.
I'll pick up the runestone.
And once you get started, it's hard to stop.
What
That's
is
why
that?
It's my problem with whiskey.
I believe this is a rune stone.
I mean, do you have to take them? I mean, can you do a rubbing?
I think it's the stone itself.
Yeah, this is it is kind of as you reveal this, to you, not to her, not to you, Astrid, but definitely to Stieg. It's not blindingly bright, but like the carving of the rune itself is bright. It is, that as you touch it, if you reach out to touch it, as you touch it, that chanting is almost for a few seconds, almost deafening in your ears. It has much power. Paya, you have sat at this tree, bared now to the waist. Your friends have, Astrid, I suppose, at least has poked her head in, and then receded. What more are you doing? The sense of home is strong here. It's comforting. It's warm.
I get a sense of the way these ruins. I'm asking the tree for how do I get there.
I like that. How about let's do Arcana.
Because I remembered that I did not put my Jack of all trades on this particular sheet when I leveled up to level 3. That is actually an 18.
Nice.
Forgot to do that for
Yeah. You think about this desire to go to this place of your people, and you hang on, let me orient myself here real quick. Boop, boop. Map. You see a cone on the tree open, and seeds, or rather the spores, they're really small, you kind of see fall, and that tree, or that cone is on the northeasterly section of the tree.
It's time, isn't it? I asked the tree. Need to go, don't I? Waited too long. People need me, and I need them.
Give me another one of those rolls, please.
That not roll? Oh, there it is.
I got you.
They're 18.
Another 18.
They're integrating the suspense feature from Roll20 into the VTT.
Jerks. Jerks. Come on, Glock. We don't want suspense dice. The room, the tree, the light gets gets brighter. It gets a little warmer. For a brief moment there, and then it kind of returns to how it was, but a heartbeat ago. And then it cools. The light dims further, kind of to a point perhaps before you had come into the room, before it had sensed your presence or whatever. And you can see that it is that the tree almost droops, and as it does, a cone falls, and then kind of slowly over, maybe as you watch this over like a heartbeat or two, it kind of perks back. The tree perks back up. The light kind of lights itself again, and the warmth returns.
Ask the tree. Can I stay here tonight, or must I leave now?
The tree does not respond.
I in some small rations in my pack, and I aren't corners in this room, but I find the places near the cots, and I curl up near the tree. I reach into my pack and grab some of my ink and one of my sheets of paper. I start writing a note or a letter to Absalon. I curl up in a ball and sleep next to the tree. Just sleep next to the tree.
All right.
I haven't fallen
Gunder.
asleep quite yet, but that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Gunder, Vidar. Unconscious girl.
What do you think's going on in there?
You're in the foyer.
I am not certain. Not knowing what is in there, I assume Paya is at least safe. I don't know about Stieg, but Astrid is there, and she generally has a level head on her shoulders, and will probably keep him from getting himself killed.
I trust you are right. I will check above.
I will be here.
and I will ascend the stairs into the night and look about, looking partially for Iceland, longing for her return, missing her at this moment, kind of reflecting on the things that have happened in this place, and then also looking about to see if the man that we sent packing is anywhere in the vicinity, or that creature that was sent running, labeled run, took off, just to see if there's anything sneaking up on us.
I haven't rolled for that yet in a while. I haven't rolled for that thing in a while. Here, let me
Never
roll.
remind the DM.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. You so as you ascend these stairs, and it's colder here in the foyer than it is inside. But as you ascend the stairs, it is almost like painfully more cold. Like it is a stark difference, almost in an unnatural way. Not like the cold is unnatural, but maybe that the warmth is unnatural, and that you have gotten so used to it that this cold, the difference is so great. And yeah, you remind me real quick. Had you had a chance to cast Find Familiar again, or do the thing that you needed to do to get?
I don't know
Iceland?
if we had. We had a short rest, so
Yep.
I assume that may have happened. He was focused on that, calling her through his connection with his grandmother, and just sort of focused on the amulet that he wears, the gift from her. So I mean, yeah.
That's right. Yeah. I gave it up. I'm sorry. I gave it up. It turns out Vito can cast Find Familiar. I'm a bad DM sometimes. Give me a.
The gig is up.
The gig is
Find
up.
Familiars.
He's a druid. No,
Shit.
not really. Give me a D20 roll. We'll call it that.
Okay. I hope an 11 is what you were looking for.
Okay.
You
Okay.
betcha.
Oh yeah.
You ascend the stairs, feel the cold. It's weirder than it normally is. It's cold. It feels almost a little more raw, when you've been inside for so long.
Just a quick question, relative to that cold, as a Scotty, obviously he's, attuned, if you will, maybe not the best word, to cold weather, travel and survival. Does this feel different than just the biting cold of the north that he is familiar with? As if it is something, I think you might have almost said unnatural, perhaps?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not, I think for you, it's not that it's more of the difference.
Okay.
Than
Thank you.
than the actual cold. You're not like, oh shit, it's cold. It's more of like the difference of coming from that, what that warmth is, to this very normal sort of cold winter's night.
Okay.
Yeah. You cast about in the night. Give me a perception roll as you cast about in the night. I guess ultimately with a disadvantage because it's dark out and you don't have dark vision.
Correct. That's not good. That's going to be an 8.
That's
Or no, that's going to be a 5. It's going to be a 5.
A 5, yeah.
It's even worse.
You cast about the cloud cover kind of has reduced a bunch of the light. The stars are not really out. The moon, you can kind of see where the moon is, through the clouds, but they keep much of her light from the world. I guess his light is that. in Norse mythology.
Technically, but I don't know how it is Svilland.
Yeah. And you don't you can see the tracks of where you guys came in. You can kind of see the tracks of where this that dude left, who you set free. And you are absolutely surprised as a very silent owl lands upon your shoulder.
Oh,
Mace Windu.
It's actually a cat.
very cat-like
That
in
one
nature.
giant cat
Yeah.
eye looking at the
Yeah.
screen.
Iceland, you are here. It makes me feel better about
No.
things.
You can't go over there. She kind of nuzzles and picks at your hair a bit, maybe, or I don't know, things that birds do. Yep. She makes the forest chicken sound.
So soothing. If looking about, other than that, he will descend from the cold
Okay.
and return to the foyer.
Yeah.
It's cold
Thank you
as
for-
fuck, Gunder, out there.
And it's best we stay down here, isn't it?
Indeed.
Perhaps we could get a fire going down here.
If only it was warm inside. Stieg and Astrid,
We're solving a mystery.
you've
the
solved my
last
rune
sequence.
mystery. Congratulations.
Do I know anything about this object that he's looking at, or why it would be buried, other than it's just something of worth?
I would allow for either a Arcana or religion check or history check from you. Again, either option would determine how I gave you information.
I'm gonna go with
Eagle put down another gold piece
history.
History?
Great.
Okay.
where he found the stone.
So that is a 15.
15. God damn. You
I study books and stuff.
yeah, right. That's true. Yeah, you did study in
Nerd!
in a nerd school. Kind of seeing this thing. Maybe it's a combination of seeing this stone, in a burial chamber, and that kind of piques your mind. That it's obviously, especially amongst Svilanders, and even more so amongst the wealthy or the heroic. When they are buried, either on the pyre or in the mound, oftentimes are buried with objects of worth from their life. People are buried with their swords, are buried with their shields, are buried with the sum total of their household in some cases. You recall that some in Neomin, the country to the to the west on the coast, 2 countries over, some of their chieftains are indeed buried in their ships. And you know that while folk such as Stieg, rune walkers, rune carvers, rune speakers, are they exist, and they're not uncommon, perhaps. And obviously the Svillanders favor the alphabet that is the runes. But you recall, in history that there are tales of those who can carve, we could say, runes of lasting power, right? Generally, when you've seen Stieg cast his spells, or rather invoke his runes, it is a flash. You've probably seen the shape of this rune a number of times as he casts some of his spells and does some of the effects that he has used, but they don't last longer than a heartbeat. And here you have evidence of an object that Stieg is telling you is rife with power, perhaps. And you recall, from the sagas of old, of those. Usually, it is said in sagas, a person is blessed by Odin. He has been gifted with a rune of power. And as a person who is learned as yourself, sometimes this is true. We do live in a magical world where the gods are real and can in fact walk among us, should they so choose. Oh, what a terrible day that would be.
Right. We've already run into
right.
at least 3 of them as a party. So
but you also know that sometimes objects such as this can be crafted by rune walkers of considerable power as lasting objects.
There wouldn't be a reason, a safety reason why this is buried with that person, to seal something, or
sure,
maybe it should have been an Arcana check, but or if we remove this, will something terrible happen?
Those are great questions, which Dave and Michael will attest that I am not necessarily qualified to give, due to my history with runes on doors, in graves, and vampire crypts. But this is not one of those. In fact,
thank the gods.
Thank the gods.
Steve would know what this is.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This is a rune of power. This is essentially a magical item, to use the common parlance of Dungeons and Dragons, a physical expression of the runes, a constant expression of the runes that you use to cast your spells. But Astrid, you this rune, while commonly known as the Rune of Magic, doesn't seem to you to be
there for a reason.
Looking about in the context of this situation that you're in, these are obviously very old, especially where you are right now, very old bodies. You're not able to necessarily tell who and what they were, other than this person bore this rune of power. They meant something at some point to someone. People with these sorts of things often do. They can be bad or good, but as you uncover it, as Stieg lifts the shroud, no hand indeed reaches to foil him. No breath reaches from the darkness behind you.
Okay.
Or does it? It doesn't. No, it doesn't.
This stone is powerful, and It's not something you cast aside lightly. And it's not helping this man anymore. You said yourself you heard Hell's voice.
I did.
Well, I see this stone as an omen. I think the gods may be trying to speak to us. We should listen. Because we're gonna need help. And I'll put the runestone in my pocket.
All right. I briefly look at the corpse of the decayed person and go,
Sorry, but we're gonna try to help people with it, so I hope that that's okay.
Give me let's call it a persuasion roll, please, Astrid.
An
Ooh, I get
apology
advantage
check.
on-
Do the
Nice.
dead
Oh,
believe
the
you?
same. But it is 19.
19.
Ooh.
You didn't feel this presence when I talked to Stieg about how he felt it. You didn't feel that. But as you say your piece, and perhaps even in the presence of the words that you two just shared, you feel as if perhaps the around you there is perhaps a sigh of relief, an exaltation of held breath, and perhaps an acceptance.
Okay. It's gonna. She's just gonna look a little wigged out. But she's gonna go. Okay, I think we're good, but I think we should leave.
There's other rooms. There could be more stones.
There's
There's still one to the south, right? That we haven't even looked in yet.
There is a room to the south.
He's got the.
There are no other stones.
Okay.
Well, I would pick that up on my stone radar.
Yep.
Stegovision.
All right. So we're at the end of this room, though. There's no more doors, or it doesn't lead
Correct.
anywhere.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a kind of a long, narrow sort of hallway-shaped room, with, I guess, a number of these kind of burial nooks carved into them. The space, kind of at the end, where you're at, there's only the one kind of nook. It's on the left-hand side, we'll say, which would be the west wall. The right, the east wall of this section, kind of opposite this nook, is carved in a similar fashion to the kind of those carvings and reliefs in the rooms that you have explored before. Plants and trees and animals and peoples and perhaps other things adorn this wall.
Okay. I guess I think I missed that first part. Did you say that was the other room?
Nope, that's the wall. Yeah, that's the room behind you. There is one more room back out the door. Back
the way we
across.
came, right?
Yep. Yeah. This room is just a long kind of hallway room, sort of shaped room with these burial nooks.
All right, so I'll make my way out of there and go back into that
central room?
Yeah, the central room.
Yep. Astrid.
Oh,
We got
nice.
rated a third
What?
time.
Thanks, guys.
Nice. Wow.
Hello.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us. Now, Astrid, Stieg has turned and left. What would you like to do?
Follow him.
Stab
Okay.
him in the back.
I'd like to go
So
into
what
that
am I,
room
Loki?
to the south.
Okay.
I'm an alligator. Anyway.
Aya, you're still hanging out, curled up at the base of this tree. Vidar, Gunder, you're still just hanging out there in the foyer.
Well, my army of the night hasn't arrived yet, so no, I'm just kind of waiting on everybody else.
Okay.
I sent a call like 2 days ago. Where are they? Maybe they got lost in a gift shop or something.
It's always the gift shop. They're buying those horned hats. Yep.
Either way, we also would need to take her through with us. I also do not know how wise that is. Then why would I want to go in there?
It's true. He's not wrong.
Gunder just keeps making these faces. Vidar making jokes is confusing to him. Jokes are confusing to him in general, let's be honest. This is the place of the old gods. I am the least welcome of our group there, and I do not wish to offend anyone.
Says the guy who offered a blood sacrifice.
He abhors a waste.
Just sprayed blood all over the room.
It's just like you're high on candy and you're just on MS Paint for the first time. You're just all over the place.
I just learned things about your childhood that I did not know. But that's not the point. The point is Gunder will look to Vidar and going, are you saying you think we should all go in there for the night?
No, yeah. It when Astrid, well, I guess kind of, right? So when Astrid had cast her spell and attempted to purge her of whatever this is, it almost seemed like she got like exceedingly worse, and then kind of reverted back to like a tick,
Slightly worse.
Slightly worse. But I mean, as of right now, she is unconscious. Maybe the darkness of this, like these like weird kind of things around her eyes is a little darker.
Sure.
But nothing is like bigger. It's not bigger. It's not like nothing is showing up anywhere else. She's not. Her head's not spinning around. She's not vomiting everywhere.
Ooh.
She's not floating up off the bed. Anything like that.
Like you do.
Like you do.
Yeah, Gunder is all
You
about
guys
that
are-
awkward
you-
silence at this point.
You dudes
He's
are
got
just
nothing.
gonna chill out here.
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
one
waiting
on
point,
them.
at one point, we had a fire going above on the up above, and we were bringing hot stones in to kind of keep close to our bodies. And I think Vidar will either continue with that or reinstitute that regime to try to keep themselves warm, but he's not interested in going back into that beyond this chamber.
Would you like to just build a fire here? We can bring in some wood.
I'm concerned about smoke inhalation. Not good for you.
These stairs will act as a chimney.
We could try. We could try.
What else are we doing?
All right, roll for smoke inhalation.
We are bullshitting.
I'm just kidding.
I am very bad at bullshitting. And Gundar is, in fact, fucking terrible at bullshitting.
Michael, however, is exceptional.
It's, you know, I'm good at talking and bullshitting. My character's
irony.
terrible at both. This is serious acting here, folks.
The irony.
So classic D&D. Yeah, you perhaps relocate a fire, get it started back up again, and get it a little nice and a little glowier, a little warmier down here, in the foyer.
Heat some
Nice.
rations. Have
Yeah.
some
Nice, right?
have some bacon waiting for them.
Feels good.
Fire is never bad, unless of course your house is on fire. But that is a different story.
Have you
Yeah.
seen what Sieg does with it?
Magic.
It's
That's
impressive.
what that is called. I respect a Vitkeep, for those are secrets I cannot ken. Also very useful.
Indeed.
Stieg and Astrid, you make your way back to the central chamber. You can see, kind of similar to them looking out, like them looking in, you looking out. It's as almost as through a veil, and you can see kind of Vidar and Gundar kind of gathered around a small fire, kind of at the base of the stairs. A cloak draped over the form of the girl. Is the body still there? You guys, and a dead body, just
A
chilling
dead guy.
there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'd like
you
to.
see Paya has now kind of curled up, kind of not far perhaps from where she was sitting.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna look towards the doorway out and say, we're just gonna check one more thing.
You hear this voice. Yeah, you hear from far away.
All right, I'm gonna walk into that south room.
Yeah.
Okay, I follow.
Similar way, man. The kind of light kind of swirls around, and two braziers of fire, not fire, kind of light, and this room is much kind of smaller than the others. There's maybe like a 2 or maybe 3 feet of space, and then there's like a bit of a step down, and you can see kind of as this light kind of floods the room a bit, that the wall opposite you is a kind of dull, almost transparent white, with layer of a blue, and you can hear the sound of the waterfall, something you haven't really heard since you've been down here, which is also in fact strange since you are literally at the apex of a waterfall. But you hear it more here, and you can see kind of water cascading, or the shadow of water kind of cascading over whatever this far wall is made of, some kind of perhaps naturally formed crystal, or like a like sheets and sheets of mica or perhaps quartz. Okay, so the orientation's a little weird.
Well, it's pretty.
That's strange.
Are we behind the waterfall?
I think so. I've never seen anything like that before. Is it almost kind of like a window?
Yeah, you know how when you're at the zoo and there's the step down to like the polar bear place, and the wall before you is like half above and then half under the water. It's exactly like that, except for there's no polar bear here.
Right.
That you know of.
Well, I mean that's also true that you know of. But yeah, this perhaps appears to be some kind of waterfall lounge.
Can I just give it a quick scan to see if I recognize any kind of writing or any engravings or anything?
Sure.
Kunin kind of used to hang out here, drink a lot, have parties.
I will assist him.
All right.
Ooh, what about that?
Let's
Is that a
do,
rune? What
I
about
guess
that
a perception roll, perhaps an investigation if you so choose.
Let's see. Yeah, why don't we do investigation? Ugh, not great. 10.
one? You got advantage on it though, because I'm
Oh.
helping.
You, in fact, do.
Much better.
Yeah.
Much better. She helped.
Oh, nice.
24.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of look around and you check out the walls. Similar kind of carving motif happening on these walls. You kind of step down into this like recessed portion. You can see that there's a bench, and you notice the glint, perhaps as of gold, or some kind of shiny metal beneath the bench.
Okay. Can I bend down and take a look at it?
Yeah, you see a number of things kind of beneath this bench. You see a small number of, as a normal sort of person, you can only assume to be chicken bones. Yeah, we all know what chicken bones are because we eat chicken wings a lot. You see a kind of broken, a few broken shards, perhaps of some kind of vessel. And more importantly, to the thing that kind of called you here, you see the kind of you see a sax. It's kind of got that three knuckle kind of Viking style. Oh boy, not hilt, pommel. Yeah, there we go, pommel. With like the three ridges on the bottom. One of the knuckle, I don't know if people call it a knuckle, but I'm calling it a knuckle. One of the knuckles, one of the ridges, is like still has a bit of polish. It seems like it is a little. It's probably been here for a while. It's a little oxidized, but not like deteriorated. It has it's in a scabbard as well, kind of laying there. There's like a you can see kind of the remains of a belt that it perhaps was attached to, kind of almost haphazardly, as if someone dropped it maybe.
I'll pick it up.
Yeah. You pick it up. The belt kind of deteriorates. A portion of the scabbard kind of falls away. It's a kind of a leather and wood construction, and part of the scabbard has deteriorated. But it reveals a not a gleaming, like a dull gleam, but like a serviceable sax of the longer variety, more akin to what folks who played normal Dungeons and Dragons would consider a short sword.
It's sexy and it knows it.
It is.
Nice.
And indeed, as you grab a hold of it and lift it, perhaps as some of the accoutrement of it breaks away, some of it is touches other parts of it, and you hear the howling as of wolves. The both of you, Paya as well. Yeah, exactly.
Did that come from outside?
Well, can we tell where the sound came from?
It's difficult to tell.
I mean, we're
let's see.
underground and by a waterfall, and we hear wolves.
Yeah, it was. It's. I don't want to project onto you and your characters. I have to assume that you've probably heard wolves living where you do.
Well, we were attacked by wolves on the way in.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
You were also attacked. You were attacked by devil wolves. That's fair.
Hell wolves or just hell wolves?
Hell wolves. Okay, hell wolves.
Possessed
You were
wolves.
attacked by hells.
Like you are. You know?
Yes, you do.
Just-
It sounded closer than it should be, and mysteriously timed to picking up this blade.
Do you think that blade's magic? Do you think it's a good magic, or is it a cursed magic?
I can find out.
Quickly?
I had to spend some time with it.
Right.
But we'll take it with us.
Okay.
No grave in here. And I'll just slide it in my belt.
All right. Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
It's coming up aces. Yeah.
He's found a ring, a runestone.
Finding all
He's
sorts
got
of shit
He's
down
got
here.
a knife.
You guys are missing out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here, but you're taking everything.
No, don't worry about that. But once I figure out
Don't
what
worry
it is.
common last words.
Mhm.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, my friends, it is late in the day. It is time for people in real life to perhaps go to bed, to do other things, to perhaps find more games to watch on the internet if that's your thing to do, and keep going. So we will continue our story next week at this time, at this channel, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Guild Superior Twitch channel. Those of you who have rated us, if you're still here, thank you so much. It means a lot. I can't watch the Twitch stream while I'm running. So if any of you have perhaps followed, if any of you have subscribed, oh boy, thank you so much. I don't know if anyone has, but if you have,
we got a lot of folks that decided to follow us from the raids, and we appreciate that very, very much.
I do. Yeah. Join us again next week for more of this story. We also have our Adventures in the World of Greyhawk, DM'd by Dave on Wednesdays. That is called Beyond Saltmarsh. Same channel, same time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here just on Wednesdays. Look for us at Virtual Greyhawk Con. Look for us at Gamehole Con. I'm sure there may be some random streaming here this weekend. I'm not sure yet. The jury's still out. It might happen. It might not. We might have more stuff coming up in the future. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Come back again, please.
I've got a crazy idea, Chad. I think we should raid Lionhead Gaming. It looks like they're playing something interesting, and I think folks would like that, and I bet they would like it.
Let's do it. I'll turn on the Twitches.
All right.
That way I can join.
So yeah, we're gonna jump over there. So join us.
Again, thanks everybody.
Awesome.
We'll see you next week. My friends who are playing with me, thank you so much. This was I thought fun. It was a good session.
Heck yeah!
There was interesting stuff happened.
We learned that Gundar doesn't have any idea what to do with humor. It was an amazing discovery.
Yeah. So anyway, join us next week for more of that.
Bye.
Let's raid.